Good morning, everybody. Students, here is the quote of the day. Believe yourself because when you believe in you, then you will definitely do your goal or achieve your goal one day. Okay. So, believe firstly in yourself. Okay. So, with this motivational quote, we will start today's session. So today we are going to discuss very new topic, or we can say the chapter, which is Medicinal and Toilet Preparation Act 1955. So this chapter is basically for TY BPharm, or we can say the third year BPharm students, as well as uh, it is not actually mentioned in syllabus for fourth year BPharm, but you can study this act for your information for the fourth year. Okay, so today we will discuss regarding of this act. So let's see. First of all, why there is a need of this act, let's discuss. Okay, so Medicinal and Toilet Preparation Act contains majorly the alcohol related products, okay, or the directly control over the alcohol or the alcohol related substances. Okay, so let's start with the introduction part. So alcohol is used in the manufacturing of medicines and toilet preparations. Okay, because as you know, many people are abused to alcohol, and they are misuse they are doing misuse of that alcohol. That's why government have to control over there on this alcohol. Okay, that's why this act came into force, and the uniformity in this act should have to maintain, or government have to maintain over there. That's why this act came into force. Okay, so it can be also used as a euphoric drink majorly. Okay, as you know, alcohol is used as a majorly as a drink. So it is essential to control the issue and transport of alcohol. So it is very essential to control over there regarding their issuance, as well as their transport within the country or inter or intra state. So this act was passed to make uniformity in excise duty in different states, because before this act was passed out, each state has its own rule of excise duty. So government have to make uniformity in the excise duty, because before this act there is a different excise duties over there as per state government. Okay, so after this act, the all governments should have to follow the centralized excise duties. Okay, so that's why we have to study regarding of this act, which is a Medicinal and Toilet Preparation Act. So here are the some objective of this act, or before studying of this act, we will see the objectives. So first one, levy and collection of duties. Okay, so what uh, what are the levies are there, and their who will do the collection of their levies. So here are the levies and the collection in this act. Then curb all irregulations of previous act. So major objective was to curb or to remove out the all irregularities of previous act, whatever was there. So these are the major objective to study of this act. Okay, so here are the some licensing procedure to get licensing for the manufacturing, transportation or sale of the alcohol related medicinal as well as the toilet preparations. So for the preparation containing alcohol and narcotic substance, so whatever uh, substance or the formulation is there, preparation is there related to the alcohol and the narcotic substance, that people have to take a prior permission from the government, and after that they will going to prepare of that particular uh, substances, or we can say the preparations, then obtained from narcotic commissioner. It it is mostly obtained from the narcotic commissioner. Okay, so narcotic commissioner is the responsible person to issue the licenses over here. So applied with prescribed fee and format. So whomsoever want to apply or want to take the permission for this, or we can say the license for this purpose, so they have to apply in the prescribed prescribed format with prescribed fees. So this is regarding the licensing procedure for the obtaining prior license. So here are the detailed requirement for the application of the license. So before applying, uh, what are the requirement are there? So let's see. So the form will contains with name and address of the applicant. So clearly name and address should be there. Then place site of the bonded laboratory. So uh, whatever license you want to take regarding of the preparation or regarding of the manufacturing, that site of laboratory, or we can say the place of that laboratory should be mentioned clearly over there in the form. If applicant is a firm, then name and address of the partners. If it is firm or organization, we can say, so in that case name and address should be there with their partners. Next to the, if applicant is a company, then name address of directors, managers and managing agents and registration number of the company should be there. Then amount of capital proposed. So whatsoever or what how much amount of alcohol you will be consume, you will be uh, consume, or we can say that you will be used for the your preparation or the manufacturing should be mentioned clearly. Then the number and full description of vats, steels and other apparatus and machinery. So whatever machinery you are going to use in this preparation, it should be clearly mentioned over there. Then the maximum quantity of alcohol remains at one time in the form of finished and unfinished preparation. So whatever remaining amount will be there, so that remaining amount also you have to mention clearly in the form. Then approximate date of starting production. At what date you want to start this production, that approximate date should be mentioned there. Then statement indicating that excise officer required full time or part time. Okay, so uh, what is your requirement of the excise officer? It you want to eat as a part time or the full time, depending upon your the production, or we can say that depending upon the manufacturing capability. Then the site and elevation plant of laboratory building. So clearly site and elevation plant should be mentioned there. In case of the firm, copy of partnership deed. So if it is a firm, then in case of that, copy of partnership should be attached over there. Then in case of the company, list of director managers, copies of memorandum of associations, then the articles of associations and latest balance sheet. So these all requirements or all this information should be clearly mentioned as well as attached over there with the form. Then after receiving of the license, what should be uh, do by that particular licensee? So let's see. On receiving application, licensing authority verify. Okay, after uh, receiving of the licensing, the uh, that particular authority verify it. After verification, qualification, experience, staff of the technical staff. So what uh, so in this verification, uh, by the authority have to confirm that the qualification and the experience of the technical staff. Then equipments. So uh, whatsoever type of equipments they are going to use, that equipment have to check properly and uh, verify properly of the committee. Then the suitability of the proposed building. So what's your building you are going to propose, that building should be suitable for this production purpose. Then the soundness of applicant financial position. Then most important is a applicant's financial position. How is the financial position of that particular applicant? So these are the need, or we can say the requirement should have to fulfill by the licensee. Then here are the differences in the payment of fees. So what type of payment they have to pay, or they have to uh, prescribe over there regarding of, or the, we can say that depending upon the type of the manufacturing. So majorly two types of manufacturing are there. One is manufacture in bond, in the form of bond, and another one is a manufacture outside bond. Means there is a no bond is there, or you can say the no restrictions are there. So if we can uh, discuss in case of the manufacturing in bond, in that case the consumption of alcohol less than uh, 4000 per liter, 4000 liter per year, then it may be the 100 rupees bond may be there. If it is consumption of alcohol more than or is equal to 4000 liter per year, then 200 rupees bond should be there. Then uh, if it is a self-generating alcohol by distillation in Ayurvedic and Unani medicine, then it should be 25 rupees. So these are the regarding manufacturing in a bond. If it is manufacturing outside of bond, then let's say the consumption of alcohol in 125 liter per year, if it is there, then it should be 10 rupees. Then uh, next is the consumption of alcohol is 126 to 499 liter per year, then it should be the 25 rupees. Next one is if the consumption of alcohol is less than the 4000 liter per year, then it may be the 100 rupees. And if it is a self-generating alcohol by distillation in Ayurvedic and Unani medicines, then it is a rupees 25. So these are the some differences in the payment of fees depending upon the manufacturing of bond, or it may be manufacturing outside of the bond. So here are the some more detail regarding of the manufacturing in bond. So let's see. Without payment of duty, rectified spirit is issued with sufficient securities and bond. Okay. So without payment of any duty, rectified, that particular spirit is issued with the sufficient security and the bond procedure. Okay. Then it should be given more detail regarding of the bonded laboratory. Then ideal requirement should be there. So what are the ideal requirements? Let's see. So they have properly spirit storage over there. Okay. After that, room for the manufacturing of medicinal preparation should be there. Then room for the storage of finished preparation should be there. Then room for the manufacturing and storage of the toilet preparations separately over there. Then accommodation for excise officer with furniture. So there is a accommodation or the well accommodated hobbies should be there for the excise officer with furniture. So these are the some requirements regarding of the manufacturing in the bond. So here is the some map, or we can say the area regarding of the this manufacturing in a bond plant. So here is the manufacturing room, here is the spirit store, here is the corridor, and you can see here the finished goods storage over there, and here is the excise officer's office. So these all facilities over there. Then obtaining the spirit, after that you have to proper storage over there for the spirit issuing, or the we can say the obtaining the verification and storage of received spirit. So proper verification and storage over there of received spirit, what the your spirit is coming over there. Issue of the spirit from the spirit store to the manufacturing area, so it should be followed as per the guideline. Then the wastage of spirit in the manufacturing, it should be uh, maintained in a proper manner over there, whatsoever wastage is there. Then the storage of finished product. Okay. So it should be the proper storage storeroom for the finished product over there. Then the issue of alcoholic preparation from the bonded laboratory should be there. So it should be issued from the bonded laboratory only, and some maybe exemptions over there also. So there is just some manufacturing related in a bond, uh, manufacturing conditions related in the bond. Okay. So let's see the manufacturers outside the bond. If it is a outside, then what what are the requirement should be there? So with payment of duty. So in both cases, you have to pay the payment of duty. Then in case of the non-bonded laboratory should be there, or maybe there. So they also have a spirit store. They also have the finished good store. They also have the laboratory. Then in case of the manufacturing, they have the obtaining the spirit, manufacture, storage, and the sale facility over there. Then the sampling over there, returns over there, and employees details over there, as well as the inspection should be done properly over there. So these are the requirements of the manufacturer outside of the bond. Here is the manufacture of Ayurvedic, homeopathic, and the patent and the proprietary preparations. So flowchart is here. You can see the flowchart. So let's discuss the flowchart. First one, it if Ayurvedic preparations containing alcohol is there, then uh, it is a containing of self-generated alcohol. If self-generated alcohol is there, then you have to follow this path. If it is a prepared by distillation or the alcohol is added, okay, then you have to duty of rupees 52.8 per liter of pure alcohol content. Okay. If it is a self generated alcohol is there, if alcohol content is a 2%, in that case they exempted from the duty. But it is a alcohol content more than 2%, then uh, two cases may be there. So it may be not capable of consuming as ordinary alcohol beverages, exempted from the duty. If it is there, then it is a definitely exempted from the duty. If it is not there, then capable of consuming as alcohol beverages, then it is a 1 rupees per liter duty may be there. So in case of the or we can say that depending upon your preparations use, the excise duties are there. Here is the some more information regarding the warehousing of alcoholic preparations. So what type of warehousing should be there? So let's see. To store alcoholic preparations on which duty has not been paid, so you have to properly store over there. Then the license can be issued by the payment of fees rupees 25 with bond and security. Then the duty will be paid at the time of removal of goods from the warehouse. You have to pay that particularly duty over there. All goods should be weighed, gauged, and assess the duty and recorded over there. No goods can be issued without payment of duty except export from India or transport to another bonded warehouse. So nobody should be there transport without payment of duty over there. Then the movement of goods between two warehouse should be done by bond and security of twice amount of duty. Okay, so if you have to shift your uh, what's your stock is there from one warehouse to another warehouse, so you have to uh, deposit deposit the security of twice amount of the duty. Then the goods can be stored from the minimum period for 3 years only. Okay, so let's see. If it is a interstate transfer, sorry, transport is there, in that case the transport only after payment of duty may be there. So you have to firstly do the payment of duty should be there. If transport is bonded, laboratory has exempted from the duty. Okay, so this type of the interstate transport maybe happens over there. And here are the some requirements regarding of the export under the bond and the export outside the bond. So let's see. First we will discuss the export under the bond. So without payment of duty they can export. Exporter apply in triplicate to excise officer. Okay, so exporter will be apply to the triplicate to the excise officer. Exporter should mention the means export either by land, sea, air, or post. Okay. So whatsoever media or the transporting medium is there, they have to mention clearly over there. Then the exporter should give separate application for different means of export. Okay. So they have to give the separate applications for the different means of export. Then the all goods should be contain serial number, owner's name, mark, total quantity of dutiable goods, alcoholic strain, name and address of the consignee, what's whomsoever consignee is there. Then gross weight of each package should be there. Then excise officer puts his official seal on each package should be there. Then excise officer return the duplicate copy of applications to the exporter. So this is the overall procedure regarding of the exporter export under the bond. Okay, if it is outside the bond, then what are the requirement is there? So it should be with payment of duty. Okay, so it should be with payment of duty. Then exporter apply in duplicate to excise officer. Then exporter should give the 48 hours notice before exporting date. Okay, so they have to perform this procedure as a prior to the 48 hours. Then exporter should present entire uh, consignment to excise officer. Then excise officer takes samples and send for analysis on the basis of permit for the export. Then all goods should be contain serial number as same as per the export under the bond. All information should be there mentioned in a clear way. Then excise officer puts his official stamp over here also. Then excise officer returns the duplicate copy of the application to the exporter should be there. So these are the some requirements, or we can say the some rules or some guidelines they have to follow regarding of the uh, uh, or we can say the in case of the export under bond, or it may be export without or the outside the bond. uh, Next part is the here are the some power, duties and the responsibilities of the excise officer. What are the power, duties of that particular excise officers may be there? So first of all, we will see the powers. So they have power to inspect, or they have to power of inspection, or entry, search and seize any type of or any type of doubtable stock, or we can say the warehouse or the production site. Then the uh, detention of the person. So whomsoever person is there which the people have doubt on over there, so they can detain that people. Then the suspension, revoke of the license. Okay, so suspension or revoke of the license, that type of powers also over there to that particular excise officer. Then the prosecutions, then the summons, or we can uh, say that the notice regarding of this any type of the violation of the act. Sorry. Then the disposal of the seized article, arrested persons. Then the power to arrest, power to make rules. So these are the some powers of the excise officer. Next are the duties of excise officer. So checking the qualification and experience of the technical staff, equipment, suitability of the building and applicants financial position. Then visit the premises at regular intervals. Then the consign on the indent to get alcohol from the distillery. So these are some duties of excise officer. Here are the some more responsibilities of the excise officer. So let's see. Correct the collection of duties and the penalties. Then article seized should be handed over the officer in charge of the police station. Then article seized should be disposed speedily. The persons arrested should be forwarded without delay to excise officer who is empowered to produce against magistrate. Okay, so whomsoever empowered officer is there in front of that officer, they have to produce that particular person. So here, these are the some responsibilities uh, and powers as well as duties we seen over there. Next part is the offenses and the related penalties. So majorly in this act, these offenses and related penalties are uh, grouped over there in a three categories. First one is a licensee, second one is a excise officer, and third one is a public. So let's see one by one. If it is a licensee is there, if licensee failure to follow the license condition or the pay duty, then it should be infringement up to 6 months for or the fine up to the 2000. Then next is the disorderly keeping of stocks and accounts. So in that case, it may be fined up to the 2000. Then illegal sale of the dutiable goods. In that case, uh, the fine may be up to the 1000. Then the failure to furnish export proof. In that case, it may be fine up to the 20,000. Then obstruction to the officer's false information. In that case, the 5,000 fine may be there. Then next is the failure to produce, maintain, weighing, measuring devices. In that case, the 1000 fine may be there. Then next, the failure to provide, maintain facilities for the locking. In that case, the 200 fine may be there. So these are the offenses or the penalties related of the licenses. Next is the offenses and the penalties related to the excise officer. If excise officer is failure to do duty, if it is failure to do duty related, then it should be responsible for the infringement up to 3 months or fine or both. Then next is the exercise searches or the seizures. If is a vexatious searches or the seizure, in that case the fine up to 2000 may be there. Then the disclosure of the information. If it that officer, that particular excise officer disclose the information, in that case it may be responsible for the fine up to the 1000. And finally or lastly, it may be in a public or done by the public. In that case it may be related of the malicious information. In that case that public may be liable for the infringement up to the 2 years or fine up to the 2000 or both. Then convenience by the owners or the occupiers of the land. If it is there, then they are responsible for infringement up to 6 months or fine up to rupees 500 or both. So these are the offenses and related penalties for the Medicinal and Toilet Preparation Act 1955. So I hope all of you understand this act and related needs. Why this act really needs over here. So I hope all of you understand this act. Okay. So next part we will discuss in the next lecture. This chapter is finished over here.